Topic: Basic concept of standard operating procedure. We can define it as written instructional procedure intended to document result and how to perform a routine activity in daily practice. In pharmaceuticals company standard operating procedures followed to help our practice at workplace and ensure to deliver consistency and quality in their products. SOP is standard operating procedures which is specific to our operational procedure to facilitate describes the activities essential to complete tasks in accordance with industrial regulations, simple laws or even just our own standards for running our company. Any document evidence that is a how-to falls into the class of procedures. We also can characterize standard operating procedures useful and practical tools to communicate important corporate policies, government and regulatory regulations, and best practices in industry. SOP is an authorized written procedure which instructions for performing operations not necessarily specific to a given product or material but of a more general nature, for example equipment operation, maintenance and cleaning, validation, sampling. Certain SOPs may be used to supplement product-specific batch production documentation or distribution records. SOP is a written document which describes step-by-step outline form and how to perform a particular task or operation. This is prepared to harmonize the practices and operation independent of manpower. Everybody shall follow SOP while performing their work as per applicability to ensure activity is performed consistently. SOP is an authorized written procedure which instructions for performing operations not necessarily specific to a given product or material but of a more general nature, for example equipment operation, maintenance and cleaning, validation, sampling. Certain SOPs may be used to supplement product-specific batch production documentation or distribution records. Key elements involved in SOP. General guidance for SOPs. Preparation of SOPs. Preparation of new SOP. Preparation of extra formats. Revision of SOPs and formats. Issuance, control, retrieval, storage and destruction of SOPs. Master list of SOPs. Discontinuation, deletion of SOP, benefits of standard operating procedures, SOPs. Industrial workplace processes require strict adherence to a set of instructions to ensure the intended outcome occurs. Even the best employees don't have perfect memories, so having a set of written instructions they can refer to when performing the steps of the process ensures everything is done correctly. When new employees are trained, standard operating procedures help keep their training fresh and serve as important reference tools. Copies of standard operating procedures should be available at the actual location where the work is being done. This not only ensures the people that need them can access them, but it also demonstrates the company's efforts to communicate policy and regulation to employees. Examples of standard operating procedures, SOPs. Standard operating procedures can benefit any process or task within an organization that management wants done the same way each time. Originally, standard operating procedures were popular in the manufacturing environment, since they are an integral part of quality assurance systems. If a company is making the same thing over and over, customers and managers expect consistency in the product. For example, a standard operating procedure may specify how much of what ingredients to add in a processed food plant. It can also provide detail on how to build a laptop case, including how much pressure to use when tightening the fasteners. A standard operating procedure could also let workers know how much paint to apply to the front panel of an automobile, component of standard operating procedures, SOPs. 1. Objective, purpose. 2.0 Scope. 3.0 Responsibility. 4.0 Accountability. 5.0 Procedure. 6.0 Requirements related to equipment, material, reagent, facility, document, other if any. 7.0 Precaution, if any. 7.0 Precaution, if any. 8.0 Definition, if applicable. 9.0 Acceptance criteria, if any. 10.0 Frequency, if any. 11.0 Recording of format, if any. 12.0 List of extra appendices. 13.0 Cited reference. 14.0 Reason for SOP revision. 15.0 Distribution of documents. 16.0 History revision of SOP. 17.0 Abbreviations, glossary, component explanations of standard operating procedures. 1.0 Objective, purpose. To lay down a procedure for preparation, writing, issuance, review, approval, control, revision, storage, distribution, archival, retrieval, and discontinuation, deletion of standard operating procedures to achieve uniformity and consistency of format used by all departments and to be followed for any routine operation, activity or task that may impact the safety, quality, purity and efficacy of the company to all user department. 2.0 Scope. The scope of the SOP shall be applicable for detailed procedure and to provides the guidelines to scope of this SOP is applicable to all the SOPs of all the departments and their respective sections, and this SOP shall be applicable to all concerned department for preparation, issuance, review, approval, distribution, control, retrieval, revision, storage, destruction and discontinuation, deletion of all standard operating procedures at ZIS Pharmaceutical Private Limited. 3.0 Responsibility. Officer/designee user department. To prepare SOPs formats as per this SOP and implement controlled documents. To ensure that all operations and current work practices are covered in the SOP. To submit old version controlled copies before the receiving of revised versions. Executive, designee QA. To check the SOP and formats are prepared and documents are controlled in accordance with this SOP. To receive, store, issue, control, modify, distribute, archive and retrieve the SOPs, formats, documents and records. To maintain all document master lists. To monitor and notify when a document is required for review. Senior Executive/Assistant Manager/HOD/Designee User Department. To identify the area, operation, activity where SOPs are required and to identify the controlled documents and to review the SOP and formats are prepared and documents are controlled in accordance with this SOP to monitor and ensure the compliance of the procedure. To ensure that current version of formats are being used in their department. To provide the copies of SOPs at the workplaces. To train the personnel according to SOP, head, QA, designee. To approve and ensure that all the SOPs are prepared and documents are controlled in accordance with this SOP. To monitor and ensure the compliance of the procedure. Initiator, creator, is responsible for preparation, writing SOP as per the standard operating procedure SOP template or SOP document template in accordance with the applicable regulatory requirements. The initiator or creator is also responsible for the adequacy and precision of the content and obtaining the required reviews, approvals and training on SOP to associates. Department heads have the responsibility for the review of SOPs, and ensuring that all procedures are created, revised in accordance with this SOP. The department heads are also responsible for training on SOP to departmental people. Quality assurance is responsible for control of SOP templates, review, approval, distribution, archival and retrieval of the SOPs. 4.0 Accountability. HOD, Head of Department, assigned designee for overall implementation in system with effective procedural control to compliance. HOD QA/designee, responsible for review, approval of the master document and compliance to the procedure in production department. 5.0 Procedure. Basic points. While preparation of SOP procedure, there are following key sections. Key elements involved in SOP. General guidance for SOPs. Preparation of SOPs. Preparation of new SOP. Preparation of extra formats. Revision of SOPs and formats. Issuance, control, retrieval, Storage and destruction of Sops. Master list of Sops. Discontinuation, deletion of Sop. Preparation of Sops. All Sops shall be written in English language. Sops may be additionally prepared in vernacular language for easy understanding of the support functions, wherever required. When print of formats to be taken from their respective Exure no, row of Sop no, version no. And effective date from header section and prepared by, reviewed by, approved by and authorized by table from footer section shall be removed from Exure. Objective. It defines the purpose of the procedure and shall start with sentence to lay down the procedure for. Objective shall be mentioned in section 1.0. Scope. It defines to which department/area/equipment the SOP is applicable to. The scope of SOP shall start with sentence "This SOP shall be applicable," and end with sentence at company name with address. Scope shall be mentioned in section 2.0. Responsibility. Shall specify the personnel responsible to prepare the SOP and ensure its implementation and compliance. Responsibility shall be mentioned in section 3.0. Accountability. Head of the respective department shall be accountable for compliance of the SOP. Accountability shall be mentioned in section 4.0. Procedure. Shall describe all activities to be carried out in logical steps to complete the objective of the SOP. Procedure shall be mentioned in section 5.0. Requirement. Shall mention requirement, if any, equipment, material, reagent, facility, document, other if any, as per feasibility such as, that are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 6.0. Precaution. Shall mention reference, if any, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 7.0. Ensure that prior to initiating a new SOP, initiator, creator shall ensure that content of the new SOP in no way conflicts/overlaps with that of an existing SOP. Ensure that prior to writing SOP initiate the change control for creation of a new SOP, revision of existing SOP and for obsolescence, invalid the SOP. Review the SOPs at least every 2 years, 2 years ± 15 days, to ensure that the procedure is valid in respective department. Definition. Shall mention reference, if any, a statement that explains the sense of a word or expression, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 8.0. Acceptance criteria. Shall mention reference, pre-established standards or requirements a product or facility or project must meet, are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 9.0. Frequency. Shall mention reference, if any, as the number of times an occurrence occurs per unit of time, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 10.0. Recording of format. Shall mention reference, if any format of somewhat is the technique or organize in which it is arranged and presented, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 11.0. List of Exure/appendices. Shall mention reference, if any, a statement that gives additional information, shall be added one or more than one item, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 12.0, cited reference. Shall mention reference, if any, a statement that explains the original source of information sense of a word or expression, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 13.0. Reason for SOP revision. Shall mention reference, if any, a statement that explains the sense of a word or expression set of step-by-step instructions compiled by an organization to help workers carry out complex routine operations. SOPs aim to achieve efficiency, quality output and uniformity of performance, while reducing miscommunication and failure to comply within the regulations. such as, main instruction is used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 14.0. Distribution of documents. Shall mention reference, if any, a statement that explains the sense of a word or expression for usually in shares, to each department, as per requirement, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 15.0. History revision of SOP. Shall mention reference, if any, a statement that explains the sense of a word or expression such as some suggestions or points of implementation, such as, main instruction are used in preparation of the SOP. References shall be mentioned in section 16.0. Distribution list. This section describes the copy of SOP to be distributed to which department or section. Revision history. This part of SOP describes the number and reason for changes that the SOP has undergone. Sign and date. At all pages. All the pages of SOP shall be signed and dated only in using blue ink pen ball pen. Prepared by. This column shall consist of details of the person who shall prepare the SOP, his designation and the department to which he belongs apart from provision to record his sign and date. Reviewed by. This column shall consist of details of person who shall review the SOP, his designation to record his sign and date. Concerned department assistant manager /HOD/designee shall review the SOP. Approved by. Approval of all SOPs shall be taken from QA head in blue ink pen ball pen with sign and date. Authorized by. Authorization of all SOP shall be taken from unit head for implementation at shop floor level. Reference format number. This gives clear information about the reference format number, that is to which SOP the said format belongs, serial number of format and version number of the format. The reference format number appears on left-hand bottom corner of the footer. General guidance for SOPs. SOPs shall be created for all the activities to be carried out regarding operations, administrative, process steps etc., in the department. This must list in steps what must be done and how it is to be done. Where decisions or approvals are required, the SOP must state who is the approved person to make the decisions or approval. All equipment/instrument/system shall have operational SOPs. Depending on the equipment/instrument/system, it can have one or more SOPs such as cleaning, sterilization, maintenance, calibration, validation etc. Procedure shall give directions for performing certain operations, that is, cleaning, gowning, environmental control, sampling, testing, and equipment operation. Wherever required, additional instructions can also be given in the form of a flowchart to put the sequence of the SOP in logical order or to, three-dimensional drawings, photographs, diagram, table, notes etc. for better clarity and understanding of the procedure as annexure with SOP. Always print the final SOP on the designated A4 size paper. Write SOPs in legible, unambiguous language, easy to understand and easy to follow. Prepare the SOPs to describe the operating procedures and steps. Write all SOPs in clear, unambiguous language, easy to understand and easy to follow. Write the SOPs under the following subheadings. Wherever a reference to other SOP documents is required to be mentioned, just mention refer current version of SOP document. Some common abbreviations, which need not to be necessarily elaborated in the individual SOPs, are as follows. Abbreviations: elaborated word. Admin, termed as administration. HOD, termed as head of department. BMR, termed as batch manufacturing record. BOM, termed as bill of material. Department, termed as department. BPR, termed as batch packing record. Temp, termed as temperature. ENG, termed as engineering. Manufacturing, termed as manufacturing. ETP, termed as effluent treatment plant. Exp, termed as expiry. GTP, termed as general test procedure. GA, termed as in-process quality assurance. GMP, termed as good manufacturing practice. No, termed as number. NMT, termed as not more than, abbreviations elaborated word. Spec, termed as specification. NLT, termed as not less than. QC, termed as quality control. SDS, termed as standard test specification. RH, termed as relative humidity. SDP, termed as standard test procedure. SOP, termed as standard operating procedure. PROD, termed as production. REF, termed as reference. GLP, termed as good laboratory practice. QA, termed as quality assurance. Sign, termed as signature. DT, termed as date, component of standard operating procedures. Prepared by conclude that. Name of person. Signature. Date. Reviewed by conclude that. Name of person. Signature. Date. Departmental HOT approval conclude that. Name of person. Signature. Date. QA approval, authorization conclude that. Name of person. Signature. Date. Happy learning. Thank you. AIM Knowledge Mantra. Thanks for watching, liking and subscribing my channel.